I will be, what happened? I'm not sure what happened there. So I don't know if I am live on Instagram. If I am, welcome here. Hello, bonjour. My name is Denise Willerton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in East St. Paul, Manitoba, Canada. And we are on part 14 of decorating our album. So for those of you that took my class, you have created this book. I did a video showing the process of um, how I cover it with pretty paper. And I always say, trust the paper, because sometimes we agonize over it and then we realize, you know what? We're going to be okay. And it's coming together. And now I'm at the point where I am populating pictures. And so I thought it might be a good idea to show you that process. I don't know if I'm going to show you the entire process of the book, because I think you're getting the gist. I've done a few pages already. And so it's just kind of repetition and the same thing over. So maybe what I'll do after today is I will just go ahead and decorate it, and then I will showcase it once it's done. Um, I don't know if you ever have those moments where you go into your studio and you know you need to get to work because you've scheduled a live like I did today, and I'm just not feeling it. So anyway, we're going to work through this, okay? Um, so I was looking at the cover. This is already adhered, and this is in one of those flip flap pages, which I'm really liking. It's a new thing for us. I think it was a close to my heart kind of concept. And so because Stampin' Up! Has taken that on as well, we're slowly introducing some of their items. So I think what I want to do is I want to go to the store and I want to get some of those really neat photo corners. And you can get them where they're almost like a metallic. And I think that might look really cool. So we're going to leave that alone for now. And I probably want to do Owen's name in not dimensionals, but in, what do we call these? We call these, I don't know. Let's see. We call these foam adhesive sheets. So it's a whole sheet. So you can die cut like letters, and I've done it before. I wish I had something close by to show you. So it's an entire foam sheet. It's like a huge dimensional, and you can, it's got tape on both sides. So you would remove this tape and you would put down your pretty paper on here, and then you would die cut what you want. And then the back side also has tape. So it is just like a dimensional, but just a larger dimensional where you're free to do all sorts of really cool things. So then I'm going to cut Owen's name out and put it up there, and then just decorate it. I might do something on the spine. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out when I get there. So this is also what we've done thus far. So we've decorated it, and we've popped a whole bunch of pictures into the pockets. And this is another flap. Okay, and so there's a pocket here, and here's mama and baby and baby. And so these shiny pieces is my packing tape trick, where I cover cardstock. You can also cover design paper with packing tape. So you're going to do about a 2-inch strip, because that's how wide your packing tape is. And then you can just die cut to your heart's content. There's another one right there. It makes really, really neat ephemera. And then you've made your own. And then a pull-out mat in this pocket. So there's Big Brother and little baby. And we've got a tiny little star here. So we've got hearts and stars again. And this is all with that packing tape. That's why it's shiny. So then that just pops right back into that pocket like so. So now we flip the page. This is not down. This was my last video where I did this entire page, okay? And I really agonized over it, but I'm happy with it. So this is mom and dad, and this is his cousin, okay? So now I want to get to this, okay? Now when I put the book together, I should have left it black and not added things like place photo here and a spot for journaling. I shouldn't have done that right away. I should have just left it kind of like this, okay, with the design paper and black mats, right? I should have left it more like this, which gives me the freedom to do what I want when I get there. But I was teaching a class, and so I quickly put this down kind of as a sample. But now I'm restricted to a 3x3 photo, and I don't have any 3x3 photos for this page that I want to put on right now. So we're going to do a little bit of a pivot, and that I think I want there. I think I want this picture here. And so we're going to cover the place photo here. We're going to cover it right like so. And now I've got these little things sticking out on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust the edges, and I think this will look quite cute. And so if I cut that, or I could even just tuck it in and have it the same height as the photo, I'm not minding that at all. It's kind of like a different type of framing, and I want to make sure that I'm covering all of that. So we're going to figure out the height of this, and I might trim a little bit off. Okay, so I'm not afraid to trim off my pictures. So we're going to take a little bit from the top. Okay, and I should have brought my, where did I put that? I have there it is. I have a nice big silicone mat that I like to work on. So let's just trim a smidge from the top, okay? And I don't want to take anything off on the sides because I'm wanting to hide those two edges of the place photo here. Okay, so let's find out the height of this photo now. So we are at 3 7/8. So we're going to trim this down to 3 7/8. So I am going to finish decorating this page with you, and then after that, I will just finish the book on my own. Now what I'm going to do with the excess is I'm going to tuck that in. But before I do that, let's dust the edges. I hope for those that have created an album that you have really enjoyed the process. And you know, another reason too that I'm going to just finish this book on my own and then show you when I'm done is it's summer now, and it's getting hard to be in my studio when my flowers and my garden is calling me, and I'm sure it's the same for all of you, okay? So we're going to just hide that kind of faux pas, but I don't regret doing that because when I did it in class, it just showed the girls how they could lay out a page. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to figure out where this photo is going to go, okay? And then we're going to hide this with these strips, okay? So why don't I put one down right away? And let's see how I feel about that. And I think I like that. So it's going to kind of be a little bit of a different page just because of having done that already. I always glue on a silicone mat, especially when you are working with photos. And I think my glue is coming to an end, my dears. Let's get another one going here. I hope you're all having a great day where you're at. And I hope you enjoy creating albums. I like doing albums because, oh, is this going to be one of those? That one is not coming out. We're going to need to grab another one. Sometimes, and it doesn't happen often, but every now and then, there's a bottle that is not working. There we go. That one definitely is. If you are interested ever in creating an album such as this, you can go right here and that will take you to the form. Do I want to go a little bit higher? Maybe I do. Sorry if I'm yelling in the mic here. I kind of hovered over my page. Now I'm going to butt that up against that. And this I'm going to tuck in there just to hide that place photo here mat. So that's what that's going to look like. And I think I'm happy with that. So how in the world am I going to put this puzzle together? Let's get this down first. Let's get that down first. I don't use glue, liquid glue, on my photos. I only use tear and tape or an ATG gun or Stampin' Seal, tape runner. Don't put liquid glue behind your photos. So this one is adhered. Let's just butt this picture right up against there like so. And I am going to tuck my silicone mat under there so that doesn't totally stick down. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive. Whoa, working on my album. Not what I am supposed to do. So this side is dusted, this side is not. So that's where I want to come in and hide that mat that was sticking out a little bit. There we go. I am happy with that. There we go. So here is a spot for journaling, and I'll likely write in there, you know, the day I came home from the hospital, Uncle Kevin, Grandma, and Isaac came to visit me. And so that kind of features that. Now on this side, here is Isaac again, and he is just enamored by his cousin. I think what I want to do is trim this white out just a smidge more. Not sure if I'm going to keep it yet, but let's see. This one here with his toes does not have a border around it. So what I like to do is with my clear, I don't know what you call that, but this clear thing, I peek through there and I line the edge of the photo and the white just along this edge, okay? Like just along it. and I pull this back towards me, and then I get just a smidge off. So that's how I like to trim that. So again, lining up this edge with the edge of my clear thing, and then I pull it back. See how, I don't know if that comes through, but you can tell how it moves just a smidge. So I like to pull it back, and then I kind of eyeball straight. And I think I'm pretty good. And so see how these two edges, the dimension of the white seems to be pretty close. Okay, so we're going to do that 4 times. And one last time. I get to pick my grandkids up after school today, so I need to be watching the time. They always get dismissed early on Fridays. Let's get that trash away. I like to try to throw my trash away right away, otherwise I'm going to get buried. So now is the decision to keep the white or not. Somehow I think if I get rid of the white, the couch is going to come into the photo quite nicely. I think I might trim it all off. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's trim it all off. No, I can go in just a smidge more. And I don't really want to be on my album like that. Let's get... And I mean, if I decide that I should have trimmed off the white, it's not so bad, because then I can just put a mat behind it. I don't want to cut off Isaac's head, but I still have a sliver of white, and I don't want any white. There we go. Okay, let's see where we are at with that. Now, hopefully it's not going to like bleed into the sofa a whole lot with this. Oh, you know what? I do like it. I do like it. I feel like I'm crooked on that side. That's better. No, I like that very much. Okay, let's put that down. I love that picture so much. And it was amazing. Hi, Debbie. Oh, you're running very late? Like late for, do you have to be somewhere, or just that you have come in? I was just saying, Deb, that this will likely be the last one that I do where I'm popping in, oh, I know, it's so gorgeous, where I'm popping in to show you placement of the pictures, because it's just, well, first of all, it's summer, so it's getting harder to do this, and I can't put my album on hold because I do need to get it done. And it's getting harder to do it just because of the agonizing over placing everything. But once all of the pictures are in, I will do a video just showcasing how I've done that. So I don't know if you remember, Deb, or when you came in, underneath this photo, I had those 2 little 3x3 place photos here. And I normally don't do that kind of stuff when I first put my album together. But I did that in a class just to show people what to do. And then I thought, oh, and if it doesn't work when I go to put photos in, I'll work with it. So that's why I did this. And I'm okay that these 2 design papers are different. They're in the same color family.
So I'm going to call this portion done. And so now let's agonize over these little feet. And I don't want this that way. It has to go this way. So we're going to do something back there. And I have this bag. Ooh, I don't know if I've got more of that. There's a bigger piece. Look at this. Wait till you see this. You hardly notice the difference. Yeah, you don't. I mean, when you're looking at it live, Dad, you definitely do. But look, if I put this down here, tiny toes, baby feet, and then just take it from there. And I definitely would put that picture in crooked like that. I don't want it straight. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this to size to fit this mat. I'm going to dust my edges. Look at this. It's really inexpensive paper. It's not the paper that I like to use, that's for sure. But I knew I had some of that on hand. And now I'm feeling chilly again. Debbie, thank you for joining me. It's nice to go through this with someone and not feel like I'm talking to myself. So when I saw that you popped in, I was quite excited. And so we've got, what do we have here? We've got 6 1/4. So I'm going to go 6 1/8, and I'll be right
I'm back. Sorry about that. I hope you didn't hear me moaning and groaning as I was agonizing. Can you hear me now? You know what I did? I forgot to plug in my phone. I forgot to plug in my phone. So can you hear me and are you still with me? Yay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so Debbie, I'm not sure if you, when I blanked out, but I totally understand where you said frame the picture with the design paper, but it totally gets lost. You don't see it anyway. So that's why I want to put it down here and just kind of frame it in this black mat and then do something like that. Okay. Hello, Ida. Welcome here. So what I'm doing here, Ida, is I taught this album and now I'm covering it and showing everyone how I add pictures. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So now this is 4¼ wide. So I'm going to go 4⅛ wide. 4⅛. And so there's a tiny little scrap. It will probably end up in the trash. We're going to dust those edges very lightly. And where did I put my smoky slate? Did anybody see where I put my smoky slate? There it is. Yeah, exactly, Debbie. And that's where doing a dry fit and never really being in a rush to put things down is really good. Okay, so we're just going to very gently dust these edges. With our brush and our smoky slate. Okay. So if anybody is interested in creating an album like this, I have a private YouTube and a private PDF that I sell, and that little the little 8x8 album HTTP thing at the bottom, the link, that's the word I'm looking for. Wow. The link will bring you to a form for that. So yeah, I'm going to put that down there. You have a fun question. Could you use Wink of Stella on a few of the feet on the DSP? I could. You know what I'm going to do, Debbie, because I do like that question. I'm going to kind of eyeball where the picture would be, and I'll put some wink on the ones that are at the bottom, or in the middle, I mean, so that if it doesn't work, then we'll take it from there. Now, because this is like super, it's not Stampin' Up paper, and I sure don't like not using Stampin' Up paper. I'm nervous to use glue because it almost bleeds through. I don't like using inexpensive paper. You put too much time into a scrapbook. And you know, something else that I was going to mention, the beautiful thing about this is if this is sitting on your coffee table, when friends come over, they've got something lovely to pick up and to peek through with you, instead of, yeah, sparkly toes, instead of sitting on your phones. Like, let's get off our phones. Let's get off our phones. Okay, Wink of Stella. Debbie, thank you for that suggestion. So let's see what happens if I paint a little bit of sparkly toes. Yeah, it does show. I don't know, you probably can't tell, but yeah, that's really sweet. I think I'm going to do that. So if we put this down here, and if you do it for one, you need to do it for all. So see how my picture is going past this mat right here? I don't want that. It needs to be in there. And you know what? I wonder if this should be matted. I wonder. Let's take a peek. Where did I put my mats? I might have to trim. I can see it, so your judgment. Yeah, exactly. I can just see it myself. Yeah, it's really, really light, but it's there. So if we framed this, I wonder if that, I think that pops it even a little bit more. I think I like that. So I don't know if you can, let's close this page. Okay. And so just ignore the longer, but see how you've got that little white border around there? I think I'm liking that. Opposed to, okay, so here we go. Tiny border. See that? Tiny border. And no border. Somehow I think those toes pop even more. Black or Night of Navy to use as a frame. I would have to use black because I don't have any Night of Navy in here. So if I used black, I'm falling apart. I'm tripping on things. Here is what it would look like on black. Okay, so there it is on black. And I don't mind that. I mean, we can do a double frame where I've got that super thin white border and then do a super thin black border like so. That kind of looks nice. So to double matte, the white makes the picture pop, the black doesn't. And Ida loves the white and the black. I'm not minding the white and the black at all. I think I like the white against the photo, and then the black behind that, which just really pops it. I should have looked into that on this photo, and I didn't, and that's okay. And this would even look sweet behind this because the black and white is pulling all of this in as well, right? Okay, let's get this cut to size. So these sweet toes measure 5 1/4 and just a smidge more. So let's go 5 1/8 and just a smidge more. So there's my 5 1/8, and let's just do a smidge more. You can always cut more, but you can't cut less, right? So let's see how, yeah, I totally measured that incorrectly. 5 and, oh, because I cut this 5 1/8. That would be why. I'm like, what did I do? Let's try this again. 5 1/4 and a smidge more. So we're going to go 5 1/8. So let's go 5 and I think that would be 4/16. And again, when I'm using my white, I do not use Stampin' Up paper. because it's too, what am I doing? How come I'm not measuring properly? What is going on, Denise? Oh, you know why? I'm measuring 5 1/4 and I'm cutting less. I need to be cutting more. All right. All right. I'm going backwards. Yes, so I do not use Stampin' Up! Paper, but I use quality paper from Staples. And I hope I kept, yeah. So this is what I like to order from Staples. Okay, so that's the Staples paper that I use for making my mats and my ephemera. So it's letter mark, and it's 110 pound. Okay, and I can't remember how much it is, but there's like, what is in here? There's like 500, I think. It doesn't tell me. 250 sheets, and it was rather inexpensive. Now, you don't want to stamp on this. It does not stamp nicely. It just doesn't. Okay, so now we're gonna do this properly. So we're measuring 5 1/4, but also a little more. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know how much Hammer Hill is, but yeah, I don't use that. So 5 1/4, and we're going to go 5 and, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, because now I'm all nervous. I'm going to go 5 1/2, but I think it's 5 3/8 that I need. So Ida, are you a scrapbooker as well? Yeah, so this is just a smidge too big. So we're just going to take off. You can always take a little bit off, but you can't add more. So we're just going to do this step by step. Much better. Perfect. Perfect. Whoops, sorry. I keep hitting my light. So again, I don't like putting liquid glue behind a picture. So we're going to use, oh, does it really? There you go. Because I'm really fussy with my paper. And you get Hammer Hill at Staples as well, correct? I think you have. Do you have Staples in the US? I think you do. I know you have TJ Maxx, I think is also a, oh, I want that. I want my mat. Let's put that down. And I like to start at one end and keep my picture up. No, 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 no. We're crooked. We're crooked. Oh, Amazon. There you go. I'm just huffing on this so that it releases. Okay. It's hard to glue over there when I don't get an opportunity to be really over what I'm working on. There we go. Okay, so there's that. There's his little toes. Aw, Debbie, thank you. That is so sweet that you would say that. Yeah, and Debbie, I don't know if you realize I'm changing my time from noon to 11 a.m. Remember how I used to be 10 a.m. and then I moved to 3, and then I had too many school pickups to do. So then I moved to noon, but now I'm thinking it's summer. You know what? Let's cheat. Where's my pencil? Let's cheat. There's my mark, and there's my mark. I don't have to measure. 100 pound, 250. There you go. So, pardon me, I think it would be a little bit more for us because I'm in Canada, and I think, I could be wrong. I think our prices are different on Amazon, but maybe not, Ida. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I go live every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. And the girls that share my video, so that their friends can come and join, I enter their name for a draw, and I give away the card that I create every time. Ida, thank you for that info. Okay, so these will actually get tucked away because I may use them for something, because you never know. All right, Sweet Toes, where did you go? And how did we do for our frame? We are spot on. Look at that. Yay. Okay, let's put adhesive down. I need to watch the time because I'm picking up grandkids today. And I have to run a couple of errands first. So Ida, are you a scrapbooker, a card maker? Debbie is both. Debbie creates albums as well as cards, and she's a lovely creator. Let's go on our tiptoes and see if that works better, which it does. There we go. So now this little guy, and I don't want to bypass the toes, okay? And this lifts up. There's a magnet under here. Oh dear, you know what? We all fly by the seat of our pants, Ida. If you, I think it was this past live, yeah, it was this past live yesterday, a whole day ago. I was creating a card, and I totally made a mistake where something didn't fit, so I had to do a recut, which is okay, because you know what? We all bumble through. We all bumble through. Okay. So now, again, we don't want to bypass this. And we definitely want this at an angle. And I don't necessarily want it up here. I want to kind of center-ish the toes. And I might find some ephemera that has toes on there. Okay, so now back to Debbie's Wink of Stella. Let's just get some sparkly toes. Sweet idea, Deb. Thank you. That's why it's nice to do this with others. Because sometimes they have an idea where it's like, ooh, I never thought of that. Okay, so those are all, I mean, it's super, super light. You can hardly see it, but it is there. Yes, we are all human, and we all put our pants on one leg at a time, don't we? I don't know if you can see the shimmer, and you can't. But let's finish that up, because I know if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget. And you know, I'm not a super, like, I like things done properly, but I'm not like a crazy, crazy perfectionist. Not that perfectionists are crazy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I don't like totally fuss about that. I want it right, but I know it's never going to be perfect, because guess what? It's handmade. And that's the beauty of it. So now when people come over, you've got this sitting on your table and they've got something to look through, right? So there's pullouts, there's flips, and here's another massive pullout. And now this is done. I need something here, and I'll show you what I was thinking. Here's what I was originally thinking. These are the two grandparents, so that's Dean and myself, but these don't fit together in here, and I don't want to like totally highlight just us when this side is already done, right? Because I don't know, I'm that it needs to be fair kind of person. And so now the toes are here and this opens, right? But here is that other flap that I've already pulled out. So what I was thinking that what I would do on here is I would showcase one grandparent on one side and one set of grandparents on the other side. The toes are so sweet, Debbie. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to cut a little bit of that white away and then matte that on black as well, because I think it's going to cause it to pop. So again, here's what I do. I think I was alone when I was mentioning how I do this. I line this plastic thing up on this edge, right on the edge of where the picture starts, okay? So I make sure that I'm square and I mat that right there, and I take my finger and I pull, because see how this kind of goes forward or back. I don't know that you can really see that. But then it gives me, when I cut, it gives me just a smidge. Okay, so we're going to do that on, and I'm working on a rickety back and forth. So let's just move that out of the way. There we go. Okay, so I've got that lined up. I don't always like the white edge that you get from printed photos because they're not perfectly even. They're not, some edge is a little bit thicker than others, and so now it's a little more symmetrical. Okay, so let's get a piece of that scrap black. Can you know what, Deb, I tried that even with imagining taking all the white off, and either the baby gets cut off or somebody's heads get cut off, so it doesn't quite fit. If it was a 9x9 album, it would work, but it doesn't. So here is, I'm going to take a tiny sliver off of the top, just a smidge. Just a smidge. I'm afraid to take too much. Just a smidge. There we go. Nope, I don't like how that cut. We have a 90th birthday party for my mother on Sunday that I'm organizing. So I got lots to do. There's the smidge that I wanted. Whoops. It's giving me action, my dears. There we go. Take all of that off. Yeah, that pops it really nicely. And I think I'm just going to cheat again because my brain hurts. So we're going to just use the pencil trick right there, and right there rather than measuring. And I don't know how far I'm going to get before I need to leave. It's early dismissal always on Fridays, so okay. Let's frame that out. And that is perfect. I've got a little pencil mark here and here, so we are going to use the back. And again, that is straight photo, so we're going to use our tape. Our Seal Plus, I mean. Come on. And then I'll just put some journaling under here after, you know, Grandma and Grandpa so-and-so came to visit me. And okay, so this is the longer side. So that's where I like to actually start with my eyeballing. And I am going to trim away just a smidge on the bottom, just so that that is fitting a little bit nicer. Oh, like the picture, like this one? Yeah, it's definitely not going to be straight. I think I will have it at an angle, something like that. Okay, so down this one is going to go right like so. And now this picture of Dean and I does not have a white mat, so let's put a white mat behind there. No, when the picture was crooked on the black. Oh, really? I never thought of that. I never thought of that. Okay, so we are going to cut a smidge here and a smidge there. This is called lazy measuring, people. Definitely lazy measuring. Debbie, have you been working on your other album? Because I know you're doing another one, which is super exciting. I've got to work on my video for my 6x6. And let's see how we placed here, and it's perfect. Stamp and seal. Yeah, sometimes if I don't look up often enough, I miss your comments. I try to look up, but sometimes I get so engrossed in what I'm doing. Not this week. Yay. Oh, where's the competition? Oh, don't be nervous, Deb. Just, you'll do fine. You rock this, my friend. Okay, so we're going to line up the longer edge while we're holding the picture up. and kind of eyeballing on left, right, and top, and boom, there it is. Okay, let's get a nice big piece of black, which I have in my handy dandy. Nope. I need that bigger one. Okay. That is totally fine. And you know what? We're cheating again. So I don't know where you do all your competitions, but I think it's great that you do that with your dogs. There's a cut mark and there's a cut mark. Oh, Debbie, are you coming to my BYOP? I'm having one on the 13th. I forget now. I don't know if I have a link here. No, I don't. Oh, maybe I do. Let me see. Go down. No, I don't. Sorry. Yeah, I think I'm doing one on the 13th of June because we are going to be in town. And my last BYOP, I forget who it was, but they were like, please do it. Please do it during the summer. And so we're going to be home that week. Oh, actually, yeah, and you're away. You're away all summer, which is fabulous. Where's that pencil mark? There it is. Well, this is good. I got more done than I thought I would. And when I first came on, I was really struggling because I just wasn't feeling it. Perfect. Yeah, I sent out that newsletter. When did I? Last week sometime. But you know what? I'll send out another one. Maybe tonight I'll send out another one and just say, hey, who's coming? Let's get that down. Up on my tippy toes. My hair was so short here. Oh, I know. You know what, Deb? When we go RVing, that's what I like to pack is albums and DSP, our pretty design paper, and that's what I do. Okay, so now, whoopsie, this is our pull out, okay, and it pulls out that way. So I want to make sure that this picture is going in the same direction, okay? And so there is Dean and I, okay? So there's one set of grandparents and there is another set of grandparents. Yeah, and we're away a fair bit in July too. So it's going to be totally impromptu if we do it, Deb. And if you come, that's great. And if not, guess what? We get to touch base again in the fall. So this pull-out mat goes into, here's page 1 pull-out mat. And here is our slot for page 2 pull-out mat. And that just goes right in there, like so. So this guy here is his daddy. That would be kind of cute having him peeking out like that. When you finish the photos, do you go back and label the pictures? You know what? Oftentimes, Deb, that's what I do. Once I get the photos all figured out, I often will go back. And that's where I do a lot of the ephemera, okay? So I need to leave shortly, so I'm not going to do this, but I think that's where I want that. So the last couple of videos, when I did a lot of this ephemera, and then here's my packing tape trick, right? With with all of that ephemera. I usually don't do that right away. Okay. When I put this page together, I wanted to show you how you would kind of decorate like empty spaces with just little strips of paper or whatever. Okay. So oftentimes what I do is I will go back, like I probably want more on here. And there's I have a, uh, I have a punch that cuts banners like a little bit bigger than this. I think it's either a punch or a die. And I'm actually going to string it um, with twine and then hang it on some of the pages. Okay. So these pages are decorated with little ephemeras. There's little ephemeras on here and a little bit here, right? Uh, but when I flip this page over right here, I haven't done any ephemera on these pages. So Daddy's going to go there and just kind of peek over at Isaac. And I think that's kind of cool. But there's no ephemera on these pages. This page I did a little bit, but then there's none on this. So I would want something more, like even, for example, this little strip of tiny feet, you know, that could, I don't think I will, but you could put like right here. You're not going to see what I'm doing here. Let's close that and let's go like so. So this little strip here, that could definitely work right there. And what I could do with this strip here is I could put packing tape on it so that it pops even a little bit more. And that would look really cute. And then remember how, and they're so easy to overlook, at the back of the catalogs are where a lot of the memories and more packs are. Now these are old, like from years gone by, but a lot of these little ephemeras actually work as well. Like if you find like this, it's too bad it's cream, but it says baby boy. I'm spitting on my photo. Baby girl on one side, baby boy on one other side. What do we have here? So yeah, don't forget about the memories and more. The reason I ask is because Abuse My Mom did baby albums. Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yes, that is definitely something that I do. Like on this page here, there will probably be, like if I did something like that, well, and you know what? Right here is where I would be writing a lot of that. You know, Uncle Kevin is, you know, and so this is obviously the same dude, right? So Uncle Kevin and Daddy and, you know, Grandma D, which is what they call me. Yes, I do write names. But not who the people, yeah, exactly. And so, you know what, when you do figure out who the people are, write it down right away. Here's where a lot of people struggle too when they are writing in a scrapbook. they feel that they have to print it all off on the computer so everything looks perfect. But you know what? And I wish I had my sister's recipe book. If I ever think of it, I'll bring it downstairs one day. There's something about, and I don't know what it is, but there's something about seeing somebody's handwriting. Okay, so they've passed away. My sister Anita passed away when she was 18, and so when I come across her handwriting, it just kind of, it not in a morbid, you know, ugly cry kind of way, but it takes my breath away in a beautiful way where it's like, look at, it's Anita's handwriting, or look, here's mom's signature. I thought I had something, um, like I have a piece of paper with my dad's signature on it. And I love seeing that. There's just something that almost, I don't know, it just touches my heart in a different way, right? So all of that to say that hopefully one day when somebody picks up a book that you've created or a book that I've created and they say, look at, there's grandma's handwriting. She had great handwriting or she had terrible handwriting, but there's just something about seeing somebody's handwriting. I don't know if that makes any sense. Um, but but it's a piece of ourselves. It's a piece of our DNA. It's, you know, I think it's a wonderful thing. I mean, even, let me see, I can go right here, this page right here. So I've arrived. I could have, I could have taken the time to put this in a computer, right? And type it out all beautifully. But no, it's a pen, and this is my handwriting. So when Owen gets his book, he knows that grandma did this. So, yeah, my hope, I have 10 grandchildren. My hope is that by this Christmas, I have a book for all of them. Katie's is done, Owen's is getting done, but I still have more to go. Some of the albums are made, they're not decorated, and they're not pictured. And it's the picture part for me that takes more time. But anyway, I'm plugging through. And if I don't get it done for this Christmas, I am not putting that pressure on myself. They will be done next Christmas. So that's where I'm at with this. But it's so fun. And you know what? I want to thank you for hanging out with me very much. It means a lot that you would um, take the time and spend an hour of your day with me. So I want to say goodbye. I've got to go get my grandkids at school. Have a lovely day. Have a beautiful, blessed weekend wherever you are, and happy creating. And I hope you take the time to be in your happy place, whatever that is, if it's with knitting needles or crochet needles or at a dog park, like my friend Debbie. Um, have fun. Have a great weekend. And Ida, it was a pleasure meeting you. I hope to see you again. Come and join me on Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here. And I am going to sign off so I can go run a few errands and grab my grandkids. We'll talk to you later. Bye now. Have a blessed weekend.